Chapter 681. The Funny Minions of Gru. In an unknown location, something evil was about to go down. El Macho, tell us why you broke me and Brad out, Vector. Vector, well, I have the brains, you have the brawn, and Brad over here has skill. Brat, thanks for the compliment. Vector, but we all want the same thing. Brat, world domination. Vector, that, and we also want Gru dead. El Macho, so how do we kill him this time? Vector, don't worry. I've got a plan in motion. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. In the estate of Team Loud Phoenix Storm we were talking about Stinky Pete and Lotso. Woody, to Ironhide you actually fought Stinky Pete's Heartless. Ironhide, yep. I didn't have my cannons that time but I still managed to beat him up. Eddie, did you guys know that some people are wondering about what happened to Lotso and Stinky Pete after the Toy Story movies? Buzz, not until now. Why? Eddie, laughs now they'll know what really happened to them. Me, and they will now. I posted these videos of our battles with them on the internet on our blog website. Eddie, hey that's great JD. Buzz, now everyone is gonna know about them. Me, yep. And look at this. I point to how many followers we have. Me, 175 million followers and counting. That's more than half of the population of the United States of America. I showed everyone our blog and it was an amazing blog. Eddie, that's a great blog. Me, yep. It's my brainchild. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. In Peach Creek in Atlanta, Georgia we were in the cul-de-sac. The reason we were there is because Eddie wanted to show us his brother Tyrone's room. We were at Eddie's old house and we went into his brother's old room. Sarah, so this is your brother's room? Eddie, yep. Until today, you and Jimmy were the only cul-de-sac kids who haven't been in it. Me, your brother sure has a lot of neat stuff. Lana, I'll say. Lola saw the window bricked up. Lola, why is this window all bricked up? Eddie, my brother had a talent in laying bricks. Me, he sure did a great job. But no one can see out this window. I punched the brick wall and shattered it into powder. The sunlight shined in and we saw that the window had a view of the trailer park. Me, wow. You can see the trailer park from here. Marie KL, that is too coincidental. Lincoln, it sure is. Jimmy, those cankers were mean bullies. No offense Marie. Marie KL, none taken Jimmy. Me, Eddie from what I remember there was a car your brother had in here right? Eddie, yep. It was right here. We saw a spot where tires from a car once stood. Eddie, this is where the car was. Eddie said that his brother kept a vehicle in his brother's bedroom to keep his snake in the trunk. Yep. It was cool. Lainey, hey guys look at this. This heat vent is all blocked up with bricks. Me, that's a potential fire hazard. Lincoln, that is really dangerous. I got this. But just as Lincoln was about to pull the bricks out, a huge black safe dropped onto him and I caught it. Me, whoa. That was a close one. Lincoln, thanks JD. Luan, that sure wasn't a safe bet. Laughs, get it? Me, laughs, that was a good one Luan. Eddie, laughs, that was funny. I forgot to tell you that my brother had a talent in setting up booby traps. Me, he sure has quite a talent. Boy this thing is heavy. I put the safe on the floor. Luan, your brother may have been a jerk but he had an amazing room. Me, yet. 1 second. I took out a stethoscope and pressed it against the safe and turned the vault dial. I got it open and opened the safe and in it was numerous rolls of gold coins. Me, wow. Eddie, this safe is loaded with gold coins. Eddie saw the gold coins and I picked up a coin and looked at it. Me, wow. These are 1,854 $20 Liberty Head gold coins. These are worth over $485,000. Eddie was hooping and hollering in joy. He was filthy rich. Luan, Eddie, you and me are rich. Eddie, we sure are, Luan. They kissed. Eddie, thank you, JD. You made us so happy. Me, actually it was Lincoln that accidentally made you rich. He triggered the safe that contained the gold to fall and I caught it. Luan, he sure did. Thanks, Link. Lincoln, you're welcome, Luan. Linka, that's a lot of money for you both. Ed, indeed it is, Linka. Talk about a lucky find. Me, it sure was Double D. Eddie, you told me that your brother did a prank on you with a treasure map. Eddie, yet. His map lead to a suitcase full of wishbones underneath the Kangaroo's trailer. Me, wishbones? Yug. Marie KL, yet. May had a terrible habit of collecting gross things and she collected a lot of wishbones and put them in a suitcase. Ed, which was really disturbing. Ed, that is word H double D? Ed, yep. Me, I wonder where Tyrone found all this. Lincoln, who knows? We got the coins cashed in and they were worth over $800,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000. Eddie and Luan now live in a mansion next door to the estate. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Back at the estate we were watching TV and I gave Homer a plate of donuts. Me, hey Mr. Simpson, can I ask you a question? Homer, what is it? Me, Bart said that you hated your father because he was not only a crazy old codger but also a mean son of a bitch to your mom. How come? Homer, yeah, my dad calls me the biggest mistake of all. Sniffles, he hated me more than life itself. Crying, he's the reason why my mother died. Me, oh man. Lainey, Mr. Simpson, I'm so sorry. Lola, that man is a monster. Lana, I would chew that guy's head off. Lucy, if you ask me, Mr. Simpson, putting your father into that nursing home was a mistake. He belonged in a mental hospital. Nico, Abraham Simpson, you have failed this country and at being a parent and a husband. May, you said it, Nico. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. In another part of the city, Vector, El Macho, and Brad put their plan into action. They set their sights on 3 girls. The adopted daughters of Gru from the Despicable Me series, Margot, Edith, and Agnes. Vector, to Margot, Edith, and Agnes, hello, girls. Margot, Vector. He knocks them out with a tranquilizer dart. El Macho, to minions, hello, old friends. El Macho used his dark orb to turn into his purple monster form before grabbing a handful of the minions. Lucy Wild, sees Balthazar Brat. Brat, sup, Lucy? Summons Power Wild Heartless that grab her. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Back at the estate we were watching TV and then the alarm went off. Me, uh-oh. We got to the computer and we saw the girls kidnapped and the men that did it. Me, gasp. That's Vector, El Macho, and Brat. The main enemies of Gru from Despicable Me. Lori, I saw those movies and they are literally funny. Lincoln, they sure are, and those minions are funny and silly. Lola, they sure are. May, who are those 3 that kidnapped them? Me, they are the worst villains in the series. One is Victor Perkins aka Vector. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. When Felonious Gru first encounters Vector at the Bank of Evil, he does not seem like the type of guy who'd be competent enough to steal an ice cream cone, let alone the Great Pyramid of Giza, as his boasts only irritate, and his latest invention, the Piranha gun, falls flat. Even when the bank manager, Mr. Perkins, confirms it, Gru only reacts with disbelief and plans to steal the moon to mend his broken pride. However, with the right tools, though, Vector proves to be a significant threat to his own plans to steal the moon. When Gru first steals a shrink ray from an East Asian facility, Vector steals it from him in turn, evades all his efforts to shoot him down, and to add insult to injury, uses the shrink ray to shrink Gru's aircraft, leaving him and his 2 minions to putter home in defeat. When Gru tries to infiltrate his fortress, Vector defeats him several times over, all with the push of a button. However, when he lets Margot, Edith, and Agnes to order cookies from them, he unwittingly inspires Gru to adopt the girls and use them to get the shrink ray back. When they deliver Vector's cookies, NIVIRO's cookie robots shut down his security, allowing Gru and his minions to steal it back from under his nose. Later, after learning from Mr. Perkins, revealed to be his father, that the shrink ray is currently in Gru's custody, Vector tries to hitch a ride on Gru's rocket with his squid launcher, only to be thrown off when Gru electrifies its exterior before proceeding to successfully shrink the moon. Undeterred, Vector sneaks into the girls' dance recital and abducts them, intending to ransom them for the moon. When Gru learns about the kidnapping, he heads over to Vector's fortress and turns over the moon as promised, but Vector reneges on the deal and instead flees in his escape pod while holding the girls hostage after Gru knocks out his pet shark and makes short work of his security. As Gru launches a rescue with the help from NIVIRO and the minions in their aircraft, which has grown back to its original size. NIVIRO reveals that the shrink ray's effects are temporary and that the object will return to its original size based on its mass, making Gru realize that the moon will grow back to its original size. As such, the moon begins growing, and Vector soon loses control of the ship due to the heavy mass while Gru manages to rescue the girls. As the moon rolls around, it hits the button for a backup propulsion system, launching the ship into space before it explodes, leaving Vector stranded on the surface as the moon returns to its normal size and orbit. Despite being horrified to learn that he is now stuck in the moon's surface forever, Vector, with an elastic space helmet, is last seen dancing to You Should Be Dancin', only to be joined by a minion who floated away from the Earth after drinking some anti-gravity serum earlier. According to an AVL document in Despicable Me 3, Vector is still stranded on the moon. At night, if viewed through a telescope, he is visible as an orange dot. It is completely unknown if Vector ever escaped from the moon and make it back to the Earth or stayed there until he died of starvation. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Me, the second man, the big one, is Eduardo Perez aka El Macho. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Some 20 years ago, Eduardo terrorized Mexico as the villain El Macho. He was ruthless, dangerous, and, as the name implies, very macho. One day, El Macho apparently committed suicide, probably to get his enemies off his back, in the most macho way possible, riding a shark, while holding 2 pineapple grenades and with 250 pounds of dynamite strapped to his chest, into the mouth of an active volcano. In reality, El Macho had faked his death and gone into hiding. He moved to America, married, had a son named Antonio, and later opened a very successful Mexican restaurant named Salsa and Salsa. Eduardo's wife apparently died at some point. As he told Gru, he also suffered from a broken heart and spent many nights trying to drown his sorrows in guacamole, which has contributed to his overweight appearance. 20 years later, a secret laboratory near the Arctic Circle is stolen by a mysterious vehicle using a giant magnet. The Anti-Villain League, AVL, recruits the former supervillain, Felonious Gru, now a kind jelly manufacturer, to find out which evil person is about to start using the mutagen PX41 to produce everlasting and indestructible monsters. Gru and undercover Anti-Villain League agent Lucy Wilde, Gru's love interest and partner in the film, must search the Paradise Shopping Mall, where they are given a bakery as their headquarters. During their first day, Gru and Lucy meet Eduardo. After an introduction and a brief chat, Gru suddenly recognizes El Macho and compares it to Eduardo and thinks that Eduardo is really El Macho, not dead, and the mastermind behind all of this. After Eduardo leaves, he tells this to Lucy and they decide to break into his restaurant that night. That night after breaking in, they are spotted by Eduardo's pet chicken El Polito, who happens to be Eduardo's security guard. The chicken attacks them, but Lucy manages to shake him off Gru and then freezes him with a substance. They break into the cooking place, but they find nothing to compare Eduardo to El Macho nor any evidence that he is the mastermind behind all of this, and they escape after nearly being caught by Eduardo. Most of Gru's minions have also been mysteriously disappearing recently because of Eduardo. The next day, Eduardo meets up again with Gru and his girls, Margot, Edith, and Agnes in his restaurant. Margot has also developed a crush on Eduardo's son, Antonio, and Eduardo invites the family to his party at his place. At the party, Eduardo again meets up with Gru and asks him why he is looking so sad. Gru is sad because Lucy is moving away to Australia, but he doesn't tell Eduardo that. Eduardo tells him that he once felt a sadness once but stated that they are survivors and that there's much more to us than meets the eye. Eduardo leaves, but Gru follows him to his secret lair inside the place. After following him, he loses sight of Eduardo, but when Gru enters the lair, Eduardo, transformed in his El Macho self, appears, and Gru realizes that he was right about everything about Eduardo, and El Macho tells him that he faked his death, but he is now making a spectacular return to evil. He then reveals that Gru's elderly assistant Dr. Nefario is now working for him and kidnapping all the minions that disappeared recently and using the PX41 mutation formula to turn them into mutated, indestructible, mindless, eating, killing minions with purple fuzzy hair that serve El Macho. El Macho reveals that he has an army of them. He tells Gru that he will soon unleash them on the world and they will conquer the world while he rules the world. He offers Gru a chance to join him, saying that he has admired his work as a villain for years. But Gru makes his excuses and leaves. He gathers the girls and leaves with them. Margot has also broken up with Antonio because of his interest in another girl, so Gru freezes Antonio with his freeze ray gun as a result. After they leave, Lucy has arrived because she has decided to stay with Gru. She enters the party and encounters Eduardo's chicken, El Polito. El Polito charges at her but picks up her purse and shows it to Eduardo. Eduardo now knows that Lucy and Gru have both been working for the Anti-Villain League and he holds Lucy hostage. He ties her to a rocket and hides it along with her away in opening a closing water fountain. Dr. Nefario changes his mind about joining El Macho and sides back with Gru and tells him this after the party is over. Dr. Nefario then creates an antidote for the minions to turn them back as they were originally and puts it in the jelly and puts the jelly into all of their guns, and when Gru, the doctor, the girls and the rest of the minions travel back to El Macho's lair, they use it to fire it at all of the mutated minions and they are all restored back to normal. Gru confronts El Macho on the top balcony and demands to know where Lucy is. He reveals where she is and the fountain opens and the rocket slowly pops out. El Macho is then holding a remote with one large button on it and reveals that one push of the button would send the rocket straight into the same volcano where El Macho faked his death. A minion takes the remote away and throws it to the ground, in the process managing not to press the button in the process. El Macho says that they could have ruled the world together, but instead Gru would die and El Macho takes out the last of the PX41 mutation formula, drank it all, and it turns him into a giant mutated, ogre-like monster. After a short showdown, Gru gains the upper hand and uses Lucy's lipstick taser, which she had given to him earlier, to subdue El Macho. He is surrounded by the minions and scoffs, "I am not afraid of your jelly guns." Dr. Nefario then finishes El Macho off by replying, "Oh, this ain't a jelly gun, sunshine," stunning him by shooting the fart gun at him. It is unknown what happens to him next, but it is probable that he returns to normal and gets arrested by the AVL. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Me, and the third man is Balthazar Brat. Boy, we have one of each villain from all three movies. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. During his youth, Balthazar Brat played a character called Evil Brat in his own self-titled series Evil Brat, which revolved around him performing various evil deeds, such as robbing banks, defeating armies, destroying cities, and anything else dastardly. Although the series was beloved worldwide, during the third season, Brat hit puberty and the series fell from popularity and was cancelled soon after. Brat, having his reputation and career destroyed by his fall from grace, immediately turned to a life of crime, believing himself to actually be Evil Brat. After his turn to villainy, Balthazar Brad quickly rose to the top of the Anti-Villain League's most wanted criminal list and fought with them on various occasions, particularly with Felonious Gru, an ex-supervillain and the AVL's newest member, as well as his partner/wife, Lucy Wilde. Brat, along with his robotic sidekick Clive, who was also in the television series, robs an ocean liner transporting the world's largest diamond, the Dumont Diamond, using his rapidly inflating bubblegum to turn the ship airborne. Balthazar then gets into a fight with Gru, and, after disarming each other, begin dance fighting, although Gru seemingly knocks him out. As Gru prepares to turn the diamond back to the authorities, Brad gets back up, stating that he was only pretending to be knocked out, and blows Gru away using a sonic guitar, publicly humiliating him in the process. Before Brad can get away, numerous AVL agents swarm the liner, forcing him to escape. As punishment for failing to capture Brat, both Gru and Lucy are fired from the AVL by the new and overly harsh director Valerie Da Vinci. After escaping Gru, Brat poses as an overweight jewel inspector in order to gain access to and retrieve the Dumont diamond from a museum in Paris. The next day, Balthazar Brat's diamond heist makes the first page of the news, infuriating Gru. Later, Brat trains for the big day and watches an episode of his television series in which evil Brat attacks a city with a giant robot and uses his expanding bubblegum to float the city into space, with Brat planning on doing the same thing to Hollywood as revenge for them canceling his show. In order to get his old job back, Gru plots to steal the Dumont diamond back from Brat with the help of his twin brother Drew, who believes them to be stealing it as an act of villainy, not heroism. Making it to Brat's bedroom, they narrowly avoid waking him up and alerting him before he wakes up himself and continues working on his giant robot. After Drew accidentally alerts Brat to their presence by nearly choking on his expanding bubblegum, Gru throws the gum at Brat, sticking him to the wall while they take the diamond and narrowly escape his fortress in a helicopter piloted by Lucy, who had followed them, and they return to Drew's mansion with the diamond. Once at the mansion, however, Gru and Drew get into an argument over how the former wants to return to the AVL while the latter wants to continue their family's villainy tradition, ending with both disowning each other and Gru storms out. Meanwhile, Brat disguises himself as Lucy, tying up and gagging the real Lucy, and stuffing her in a closet, takes the diamond back and kidnaps Margot, Edith, and Agnes, along with Agnes' new pet one-horned goat Lucky. Gru is about to leave out the door when he finds Lucy in the closet and she frantically tells him that Brat took the girls. Gru rushes to Drew, who is still sulking from their argument. But learning that his nieces have been snatched by Brat, Drew immediately drops his anger at his brother and he, Gru, and Lucy board his hovercraft and fly to Hollywood to stop Brat and rescue the girls. On the way there, they nearly collide with the aircraft that the minions built to escape from prison, and the minions decide to follow them. At Hollywood, Brat's giant robotic self-replica emerges from the ocean and begins attacking the city, shooting his expanding gum everywhere as several people fearfully panic and run. Edith demands Brat to release her and her sisters, and Brat complies by casually placing the girls, and the goat, on the ledge of a building in order to give them a perfect view of the destruction he is causing. After shooting enough of the gum, Brat uses the robot's diamond-powered laser cannon to begin separating Hollywood from the ground in order to let it drift off. Gru, Drew and Lucy arrive at Hollywood to see Brat's robot attacking the city, and Drew realizes Brat's plan due to having watched evil Brat. The minions parachute out of their aircraft and onto the expanding gum and desperately try to pop it, but it is too strong and sturdy. While Lucy rescues the girls, Gru and Drew shoot Brat's robot with a number of missiles. Unfortunately, they prove to be ineffective and Brat has his Bratbots modified evil Brat dolls bring down Gru and Drew's plane, and the two brothers leap out of the aircraft before it crashes and explodes. Drew uses the suction on his spy suit to land on the robot's chest plate, without Brat noticing, while Gru lands hard on the ground, knocking him unconscious. Seeing the unconscious Gru, Brat begins firing his laser towards him, but before the beam can reach Gru, Drew destroys the robot's generator, causing it to collapse. Whilst trying to search the wreckage for his brother, Gru comes face to face with an enraged Brat, and before he can use his guitar to blow him away, Gru proposes a dance fight and Brat complies, setting the music to Madonna's Into the Groove. After a brief dance fight, Gru snatches Brat's guitar and uses it to both blow him away and humiliate him in a similar fashion to how Brat had previously done to him earlier, leaving Brat floating away in his own gum while naked, as AVL helicopters swarm in. It is unknown what happened to Brat after that, but it is possible that he either got arrested or that he died if the gum he was floating in could have popped, leaving him to fall to his death. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Me. They were all defeated by Gru, his kids and the minions. Now they want revenge. And the scanners have picked up that they each have a dark orb. Lainey, we got to stop them. Me, and we will. This looks like a job for Team Loud Phoenix Storm. Nico, you, May, Dirt Boss, Sailor Minimoon, Pipes, Shadow Man and Star-Lord will hold them off and we'll go and rescue the kids and the minions. Nico, you got it. Me, let's fly. We went out to the city. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. In the middle of the city square, Vector, El Macho, and Brat were watching as the kids and minions were tied up. Suddenly the three of them were kicked and sent crashing into 3 cars. They got up and saw us ready to fight. Nico, to Vector, El Macho, and Brat, you 3 have failed this city. Vector, just like you failed in protecting Gru's so-called family. It was very easy for us to kidnap them. We cut the kids and minions free. Me, are you girls okay? Margot, yes we are. Lucy W, yes. Thanks to you JD. Me, to Vector, and it was very easy for us to rescue them and the minions. Maria, you 3 are going to jail. Nico, but not without a fight. Vector then got in his suit. It was an awesome super suit. Lola, what a suit. Vector, thanks Lola. You can never beat me in this. Lola, come on out, jumpsuit boy. I want to see how smart you are when you're beat up all over the pavement. Vector, blasts her from behind. Now that wouldn't be too heroic, would it? Lola jumped up and then she surprised us. Lola, Decepticon Cyber Key Power. Galvatron's Cyber Planet Key went into a device on her left arm and out of it came out Starscream's most powerful blaster. Lola, this device Lisa made for all of us is amazing. Final strike. Lola fired a massive laser blast that hit Vector and it exploded with incredible power. Crab The explosion blew the whole suit to pieces. Vector was down. But he got up. Vector, you know what my favorite move is in playing cards? Lola, no. Vector, a royal flush. Punches a fire hydrant open and it gets Lola wet. There. I bet you can't use your fire powers when wet. Lola, nice try. Lola fired a blast of fire and it burned him. He screamed in pain as he was burned and Nico tied him up. Nico, alright, Vector. You're going to the moon. Vector, not again. Nico. Prison. You're going to the moon prison. You didn't let me finish. Vector, oh. Well, at least I'll get to eat food there. Me, Lola, you did really well. Nico, I'm inclined to agree. You did really well, little sister. Lola was touched by that comment and she hugged him. Lola, thanks big brother. Maria, you are going down, Brat. Ready, Arazam? Arazam, you know I'm always ready, sis. Maria, all right. Aqua Maria. Arazam appeared. Maria, let's get him. Arazam slashed him in the chest with her swords. Maria, I have a new form just for you, Brat. Maria then was enveloped in a huge vortex of water and turned into a powerful dragon of pure water. It was in the form of Scourge from Animatron. Carmen, shocked at seeing Maria's water dragon form, sis? Are you still in there? Maria, I still am, sis. Carmen cheered. Maria, I call this form Scourge Water Dragon. Brat, you think I'm scared of an overgrown lizard? Maria, you should be scared of this one and it has a few extras. Animatron Cyber Key Power. The cyber planet key of Animatron appeared and stuck into her back and she had 2 more heads form. Brat, sees Maria's water dragon form. Ugh. I liked your Aquamaria form better. At least that form looked human. Maria, dragons are awesome. 3 heads are better than 1. Maelstrom Dragon Storm Breath Blast. Maria fired a massive blast of water that possessed the strength and power of a massive mega tsunami. And it slammed into Brad and knocked him down. Arazam, oh that was so awesome. Maria, it sure was. Maria walked up to him as he was down. Maria, alright, Brat. You've been cancelled. Brat, I already got cancelled, Rockle. Maria, I know. I meant that you're going to the Mariana Trench prison for a long time. Brat, oh poop. I tied both Vector and Brat up and got rid of the dark orbs and we got a major power boost. Nico, you are history El Macho. Then Edith, Margot, and Agnes suddenly remembered all the horrible deeds that El Macho did, and then when they remembered that they were kidnapped because of him, they snapped. Lion King Simba vs Scar theme plays. Edith, Margot, and Agnes charged at him and roared in ballistic fury. Edith punched El Macho in the face with devastating force and knocked out some of his teeth. Agnes kicked him in his eyes and he screamed in pain. Margot punched him right where the sun doesn't shine and we heard a sickening crunch that made us wince. Edith punched him in the nose and slashed his eyes out with her fingernails. Agnes bit his nose clean off his face in a bloody fashion. Edith bit off his ears and that was brutal. Agnes then rammed him and knocked him down and then she bit his legs and tore a chunk of his leg out. We could not believe what we were seeing. We saw 3 kids around Lucy and Lisa's ages and they were ferociously ripping apart El Macho like he was a well-cooked steak being put into a blender. It was an extremely savage and ferocious brawl. Me, it's all the pain and suffering that these 3 put them through. All that anger and rage is being let out onto them. Then Gru arrived. And with him was Dr. Nefario. Gru, JD Knudsen. Good to finally meet you. Me, Gru. You too. Your children were kidnapped by Gru, I know. Thank you all for saving them and the minions. Me, no problem Gru. Edith, Margot, and Agnes were done and they ran and hugged and cried hard. Gru, oh it's all right. You're all safe thanks to Team Loud Phoenix Storm. May fired her freeze ray and froze Vector and Brad in blocks of ice. May, you really like that freeze ray, don't you, Gru? Gru, it's been my favorite weapon since I was a kid. May, it's similar to my ice gun that Victor Fries gave to me. Dr. Nefario, you know, if you want, I can give you goggles that can protect your eyes from the glare your ice gun gives off whenever you use it. May, thanks Dr. Nefario. But that won't be necessary. My powers protect me from it. Me, now let's finish this dirtbag off and put him out of his misery. Gru, count me and JD. El Macho then got up and he transformed into a furry purple monster. Me, wow. El Macho, you've used your last weapon, Gru. Had you just accepted my offer from the start, I would have left your wife and kids alone. But now that you've really pissed me off, I'm gonna finish them off slowly and painfully. Your family and I, we're gonna have a hell of a time. Me, you monster. Edzilla, punches El Macho in the stomach. Ed smash purple man. Nico, to El Macho everyone else thinks you're still dead. Grins evilly, who are we to disappoint them? Leah Breaker then appeared and slashed El Macho with his claws. Me, Leah Breaker. Leah Breaker, glad I arrived JD. Me, you sure did. Let's link up and show him the power we have when we work together. Leah Breaker, you got it. Leah Breaker transformed and he turned into a robotic arm and I put my hand into him. Me, JD Knudsen, Savage Claw mode. Nico, oh that is awesome. Me, you haven't seen anything yet Nico. Animatron Cyber Key Power. The animatron cyber planet key went into Leah Breaker and claws opened and I had awesome wrist claws. Me? Awesome. I went at El Macho and slashed him in the chest and disemboweled him. Leah Breaker. Boy, that was awesome. Me. It's the power of humans and transformers working together. Let's finish him with our combos and final smashes. Pipes. You got it. Sailor Minimoon? Sailor Minimoon? Right. Pipes turned into a semi-truck and Minimoon got on top. Pipes and Minimoon. Roadkill Heartstorm Laser. Sailor Minimoon fired her heart laser from her scepter and it burned El Macho. And then Pipes ran over him. Dirt Boss. Let's get him, Shadow Man. Cyber Key Power. The Velocitron Cyber Planet Key went into Dirt Boss's back and he was lowered into street level. Shadow Man. Let's get him. Shadow Man had a huge shuriken star ready. Dirt Boss and Shadow Man. Dark Shuriken Roadkill. Shadow Man threw his shuriken and pinned El Macho to the ground and Dirt Boss ran him over. Dakota. It's time for me to pummel him into pulp. Dakotazoid style. Dakota turned into her monster form Dakotazoid and pulverized El Macho all over the place with powerful and devastating punches and kicks. She reverted back and Sam caught her. Star-Lord. Final smash time, guys. I'll start. Star Galaxy Blast. Star-Lord fired a powerful blast of energy from his blasters and it hit El Macho and exploded. I am. Gru. My turn. Fart Blast Acid Mist. Gru fired a powerful blast from his fart blaster and burned him badly. Me. Now let's finish him with our final smash, Nico. Nico. You got it. I've always wanted to try this. Decepticon Cyber Key Power. The Decepticon Cyber Planet Key went into Nico's arm device and Galvatron's cyber arm blades formed on his left arm. Nico. Awesome, cool. Me. It sure is. Let's go. We charged at El Macho. Me and Nico. Savage Decepticon Death Slash. Me and Nico slashed El Macho and then he exploded into 1,000 pieces. We got a massive power boost when the dark orb shattered and was destroyed. Me. Burn in hell, El Macho. We all cheered. Me. That was awesome. Gru. You all have amazing teamwork and fighting skill. Me. That's the power of Team Loud, Phoenix Storm and humans and Transformers working together. Great job, all of you. Nico. Thanks, JD. You were awesome with Leah Breaker. Me. We both were, man. Great job. Nico. Thanks. El Macho was sealed into the Book of Vile Darkness. This was also the first ever time we utilized the powers of the Transformers in many ways with the Cyber Planet keys. During the battles, Nico caught an Espion and a Murkrow. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Back at the estate we were resting and watching TV and reading books. The minions were with us. Carmen sees the minions up. These little guys are so cute. Margot. Dad said that they used to belong to a bad woman named Scarlet Overkill back when he was a kid. Me. That's what I heard. Megamind. You know, Gru. You and I have a lot in common. Gru, if you're talking about the fact that we're former villains who became good people, then yes, we do. Me. You both sure do have things in common. Agnes. I liked the adventure where you guys beat up Princess Morbugs. Eddie. The first time or the second time? Edith. Agnes likes the second time. That one was more awesome and took place during Christmas. Me. That was one of our most incredible adventures and we put that spoiled brat back in her place. Edith. You said it. Gru. To the viewers. The power of teamwork is a formidable force. If you work together, you can overcome many obstacles. Me. You said it, Gru. In the Moon Prison, Vector was having the worst time of his life. He was in the prison infirmary coughing up blood from eating supernova hot Cajun food courtesy of Cajun Fox. Vector. I hate my life. In the Marionette Trench prison, Brat was having the worst time of his life as well. Brat. I hate my life. The end. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Another fanfiction complete. Despicable Me has been a very popular series ever since it first came out in 2010, and 3 movies have been created in 2010, 2013 and 2017, and a 4th movie is in the works. Steve Carell, Jason Segel, Russell Brand, Kristen Wiig, Miranda Cosgrove, Will Arnett, and Julie Andrews all did a great job in those movies. It was awesome. And funny too. Nico-chan11 gave me the ideas for this one. Thanks man, as usual. Let me know what you all think. Also, I got the ideas for humans and Transformers working together from Transformers Cybertron. One of my favorite Transformers series. See you all next time. Despicable Me series is owned by Universal Pictures, Pierce Coffin, and Chris Renund.